Oh. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Nels.
I'm Sketch.
And we're Brotherz Couzin. We're just taking the opportunity to kind of say what's up to all our fans and everything. Usually we don't get to hit people up. You know, we're just busy with our regular lives and whatnot, making music and just doing everything that it is that we need to do. We don't really get the chance to hit everybody up like they hit us up. So what we did, we just took a bunch of questions from all our fans and followers or whatnot just throughout the months. And we kind of just combined everything that I've got, everything he's got. And we're just going to answer some questions for you guys.
They're in here.
Fuck it.
I don't know how many, but you can see them. They're in there. They're like balled up. Yeah. Pick one, man. Let's go by one.
So,
what we got.
Let's go. Jump right into it.
Jump.
Whoops, I kind of ripped it.
Like double dutch.
What's hip-hop missing? Okay.
I would say for me, the collectiveness. There you go. There's a collectiveness. If you ever take the time, you look at, like we have on multiple occasions, you look at where hip-hop came from. Him being from New York, right off the bat, and then me being from Cali, so we have those different connections. If you look at where hip-hop came from, the connection of, everything that was hip-hop, from the MC and the DJ and the B-boy and all of that stuff intertwined together, there's no collectiveness really anymore. You don't really see a hip-hop collective or a hip-hop festival where a bunch of B-boys are dancing and stuff like that. Everything is too spread thin. I think in order for hip-hop to fortify itself, it needs to come back together and be hip-hop again. It's fine for everybody to do their own thing and be different, but imagine if we brought all everything that everyone's got going on together. You might find people gain appreciation for music they otherwise wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Or
absolutely.
They might be able to influence people they wouldn't in other situations have, because you're going, like Warped Tour. You can go to Warped Tour and see all these different artists.
You see a rock band, you see a rap artist.
Exactly.
Within the same 3 hours.
So like what happens if they were to do like a hip-hop Warped Tour? Not to say that hip-hop should be a Warped Tour, but imagine a complete summer-long festival where you get a whole bunch of underground, from underground to old school big name artists, the whole spectrum, just like Warped Tour is, and you do B-boy tents and B-boy shows and stuff like that. Like some of the stages is for that, like the whole thing.
Yeah, that should be dope.
It's missing collectiveness.
Right. See, I definitely feel you on that, man, because even being from New York or whatnot, like I remember a time when motherfuckers from New York were collabing right and left. You know what I mean? Not to say that they don't necessarily do it today, but it's not the same, man. Like you said, that collectiveness just really isn't there. Not even like just as a whole, but even like within the same city and stuff. I feel certain places everybody wants to do their own thing. But me personally, I think what is missing is getting back to the feeling of it, bro. Like the actual emotion and then the actual lyricism. Actually try when you say words. Don't just say things just to say them and then just pure randomness. Like, so I don't know. Anyways, your turn, man. I could go on this forever, so.
Next question. This one comes from Beth in Buckingham Palace. I'm just kidding. What's the difference between rap and hip-hop?
I guess that's a good question, because I feel like there's a thin line. There's definitely a thin line. I feel like hip-hop, it's about the MCing, it's about the wordplay, it's about what you're saying, your situation, and how you maneuver, how you work that situation. Don't get it wrong, like, when we're doing a cypher or whatnot, that is rapping, that is what we're doing, we are rapping. So to me, rap is just like what stemmed off of hip-hop, something that grew from it. Part of the same family, but it's not the same music, it's not the same feeling. To me, that's what the difference is.
Last time I was in the gym, I was listening to the Culture album. I'm gonna be honest. I saw it popped up on my music streaming device. See, I'm not gonna say which one, but it popped up on there, so I checked it out.
I like what you did there.
So it was pretty dope. For me, it's as simple as this. Like I was saying on the last question, hip hop is the earth, per se, and rap is one of the continents, in a sense. It's a part of hip hop. Hip hop created rap. So I put them under the same umbrella. But you can't claim that you're like core hip hop if you don't have, you know, a certain type of feeling to it. Now, rap hits home for certain people if it's legitimate. The problem that I would say that I think that most people have when it comes to this debate is there's people out there that are making fabricated, that's the word, I don't want to say fake, but fabricated, you know, music, fabricated lyrics, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's why you have all this beef going on nowadays, people getting ghostwriters, stuff like that, which means it takes the authenticity away from it. So though that's where it falls in. You come from different realms, but I think hip hop covers the whole thing. I just think that it's become way too flooded with one thing. It needs to get back to everything mixed together. Everything has its place because music's supposed to make you feel good. So when you get these songs that are made strictly for the cover, the problem is money got into it too much to the point where only certain kinds of music is making it out. Like you have to look in certain circles to find others. I know some dope artists personally, but the music has to get to a certain threshold and money has to go into certain pockets in order for certain things to go the way it's supposed to go in most situations. It's just business. It's become a business and not an outlet for getting out. It started as an outlet for getting out. People created hip hop and they did it to get away from the everyday nonsense. You know, now, you know, you go on YouTube and you see 9-year-old multicultural hip hop phenomenons because it's taking the time to play with words. You get a 5-year-old that falls in love with this kind of music and plays a word and only raps about certain stuff, that's what you're gonna get. Problem is a lot of fabricated stuff. That's my biggest problem. You know, so I say rap is part of hip hop. Hip hop is not part of rap. You know, rap is a derivative of hip hop. Hip hop is a spectrum of a lot of different artistic mediums. Man. Question. Time for another question. Hey,
Don't
wait,
question me.
Time out. Cheers. Salad, as they say in Spanish, or some people might say salud, if you roll your R's.
All right.
He wanted to laugh.
So this one, that was the money calling. All right, your dream collab.
Ooh.
What is it?
I want to go back in time and rap with my original self. No, I'm just kidding. That's conceited as shit. It didn't say one person, right?
It just said dream collab.
I'm going to go big roster on this one. Not super big, but big. I'm going to say Mod Sun. I'm going to say the Cool Kids. And I'm going to say Big Crit and Kid Cudi. And myself. All on one track. But not structured like a typical track. Like, all of us will be all over the track. There'll be elements of every artist, including myself, on the hook. Versus, like, there would be elements throughout the entire song. It wouldn't be like a linear, this person goes. You wouldn't wait for somebody's verse. Like, everyone would have their section, but it would be accented and like it would be structured a certain way. Yeah.
Fuck, man, dream collab?
That is the question.
Something with maybe Kanye West.
Okay.
Sahai the Prince.
So he wants a good music collab.
And Ludacris or some shit. And DJ Khaled. Because all he does is win.
But they don't want you to win.
Well, they don't want to see us do this video.
Wow.
But
all right, my turn. Question time. Time for a question. What are your inspirations?
My family, my goals, my own personal goals that I've set for myself, and to see people do better. That's something that really inspires me. And how can you be mad at somebody for wanting to help people? You know?
Fair enough. For me, it's a family thing too. I wake up every day. I go to work every day. I'm motivated every day for them. Prior to that, I can't say that I had a certain motivation other than personal ambition. But sometimes it's nice to have something else to be living for.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't have a way of taming your recklessness, and that's for anybody. Some people's recklessness, if they're somebody that spends time at computers all day, they might go out and have 2 beers, and that's reckless. But if they got a family at home, they only go out for 1, or they buy a 6-pack and take it home.
Yeah.
You know, it's a tamer for everything. So family for me is the main. Now, if we're talking about outside of that, I just have to say, anybody I've ever listened to musically, I listen to everything. Look at the array of stations on my Pandora menu.
Yeah.
You know what? I got this guy's station. His name is Nels the Artist. And the crazy thing about it is he happens to be sitting right here.
Oh!
This guy right here has a Pandora station. So I listen to him. For me, it's my inspiration, the thing that gets me going is family. The thing that keeps me moving is family. Because I can't say that I would be taking things as seriously as I do if it wasn't for them. So.
Right. Absolutely. I guess it's time for the next question.
I'll draw it. I drew the last one, but I'll draw this one too. You know what I'm saying? I ain't afraid of no questions. Like I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Who you gonna call? Brotherz Couzin. All right. What's the hardest part about starting in the music industry? Not knowing the industry.
Yeah.
I make music, and you hear about all these other artists that get in and they get to witness certain things, and then they try to give you these pre-warnings, or maybe they're not pre-warnings. Maybe it's a defense mechanism. Who knows? I don't know the industry, but if there's money involved and people are making lots of it, it is a business along with it. And learning the business side of anything is complicated. I'm a chef as well as I do this, and learning the business side of running a kitchen, there's a lot more complications than being able to just go in and get a dope pantry full of dope food and putting out a dope plate. That's the fun part. That's the easy part. That's the creative part. That's the part that gets you stimulated. Just like writing songs and recording them and spending time in the studio and revamping songs and revamping lyrics and editing audio and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Getting your creative juices flowing.
That's the fun part.
That's the fun and easy part. But then trying to get people to listen to it. Once people start listening to it, trying to get people to be motivated to come to a show that you're performing at. Once you get to that level, you don't have to try to get people to buy your music, which I've never wanted to try to get people to buy my music.
Right.
Try to get people to buy into it.
Yeah.
Listen to it. Take the time to listen to the words that I'm saying, listen to the message that I'm conveying, and buy into it. And if you don't, you don't. That's it for me.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Kind of to piggyback off what you're saying, that's the hardest part of the industry, or getting into hip hop, or getting into music professionally, is the fact that you don't know it. My whole life, I just listen to music. I wrote lyrics. I didn't know any business part of it. To me, it was just about the feeling and what was on my mind. It was never about anything other than that. And it's hard when you have to worry about things like people stealing your lyrics, people getting paid for certain things. You can make this dope song, but if you went and recorded it and you don't have the money to pay for it, you're not gonna get the song, you're not gonna get the stems, you're not gonna get the song mix, you're not gonna get nothing for it. That's hard. It's one of those things that's it's growing pains, Alright, so who is your favorite hip hop artist?
My favorite hip hop artist, when I first started out doing hip hop, my favorite hip hop artist was Ludacris.
Luda!
Second favorite was Nelly. Down to my core, I have to say Ludacris, with a very close following of Nelly.
Alright. I like those two. Let's see. For me, that's tough. I mean,
pick somebody.
I would say Nas.
Okay.
I would say Nas, because that's what I grew up on. That's one of the people who I would consistently hear. I guess I'll ask a question.
Well, ask the question.
All right. So we got.
I'm gonna grab a. You ask the question. I'm gonna grab a cold. Don't mind me.
What made you start making music? So, what made me start making music? Professionally, was probably this guy, to be honest with you. we used to have freestyle sessions, ciphers, or anytime there was a party or get together. Anything that had to do with rapping, we did the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? I always used to write and rap with my friends growing up, and it was a lot of fun, but it was never like, oh, let's compose an actual whole song. It wasn't until like after countless hours worth of freestyling with this dude that he was like, yo, you need to actually look into making actual music, you know? And then that's when I actually started taking it seriously. You know, I mean, I would hum melodies in my head or come up with stuff, but I never really took myself seriously with it. I just thought myself as a regular person who just happened to like music. And then I realized, like, it was more than that. Like, I was somebody who could actually do it. I was somebody who could actually make it. At least I hope so. People tell me that. That's the only reason I say it.
You alright. You alright.
Yeah, but, yeah, so that's what got me into it. Like, as far as professionally, was him kind of calling me out and telling me I should just go ahead and jump for it. And you know what? Ever since I did it, I just kind of took it and went running. And never looked back.
Me, started with poetry. Love writing poetry. Always liked music. Went to college. Started hanging out. Had parties at the house. And when I had parties at the house, it might be because I didn't know you were about to pull. You gotta let me know something. I think yours is, you got the faulty side of it.
Okay.
But started having little for fun freestyle sessions at our parties at our apartment, and started gravitating towards it. We used to be for fun, just to see if we could say like 2 corny jokes about each other, just to be funny. And then it got to a point where I started doing it on my own. And then one day we put on a beat and started rapping over it, and I just kept going and going and going. Sounded horrible, but the fact that I was able to keep some type of subject lineage through the garbage, it felt good. So I just tie that into the diligence of writing poetry, into writing rhymes, and then still love freestyling. Every time I do it, I get better. It's like a push-up. And, yeah, but for me, it's just, I've always liked writing, whether I realize it or not. And I've always liked poetry. And I've always liked music. So that's why I do it.
Word. Oh, this is your turn.
Well, why you got your hand in the hat, dog? Why you got your hand in the hat, dog? Why you got your hand in the hat, dog?
We got 3 minutes.
Show your mother's brother. Okay. I don't like time constraints. I like to do what I want. All right. I'm going to ask a question with the sucker. What are you looking to gain by doing this? That was a horrible William Shatner impersonation.
Honestly, just to help people, man, and just better my environment and people's situations. It's not even about me at this point. It's for a long time. It's no longer been about me, and like I said, I've said it to people countless times. Like, yo, it would be cool if you're like. People have been like, yo, it'd be cool if you were famous. Like, yo, I don't give a fuck if I'm famous. I don't give a shit if I'm famous. Because to be honest, as long as my family's taking care of the people that I love the most, and they can be good to go, then I'm fine. But honestly, I just want to help people. It doesn't have to be people that I know. I want to help people that are less fortunate, you know, because I know what I had to deal with growing up, and I know what plenty of people are still dealing with growing up today, and it freaking sucks, man, when you don't have all the pieces there, you know?
I feel you. Me, I started doing this for fun. I want to still have fun when I'm doing it. This is my artistic outlet. You know, you got people that draw, you got people that paint, you got people that write. I started doing it, writing poetry.
People that write, woo! I started doing poetry. I always had a love for music. I got a love for both.
I found the time and the capabilities to combine the two together, and it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling, and I want to keep doing it. Now, if I get to a plateau or a platform that I'm affecting people and changing people's lives, like you say you want to, then so be it. But in a non-selfish way, I started doing this as a way to reflect, as a way to vent. You know, everyone has their vices, and they go through life. That's what I did. Now, if my story relates to some people and they like it and they want to run with it, cool. If not, I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing because people don't like it.
Right.
If that makes any sense. Okay. Whoa. What's in there?
Fucking grab the question.
It's like an animal or something in there. It's just live. It's high.
Crazy.
Ah.
Just can't believe that.
Ah. Oh, ripping. Oh. Whoever wrote this got horrible handwriting. If you got the perfect recording contract, how would you celebrate?
How I'm celebrating, bro? Like, I mean, if I'm where I'm at and I can't go nowhere else, I'm celebrating with the people I'm with. So I'd probably be celebrating with the homies, probably you, freaking wifey, anybody I can. That's my closest people that are right by me. But I mean, if I'm in a position to where I can just go anywhere and just go celebrate anywhere, I'd be. I don't know, man.
Folks. If he won, he'd
I don't
be.
even know. Yeah, it's crazy.
Me?
Go celebrate in Japan and eat some fucking sushi.
No, honestly, me. I take a small piece of the signing bonus or budget, whatever it is, and I go to the store, maybe a couple $100, and I buy ingredients that I like. I go to like some markets. I go like a fresh market.
Yeah.
Like a open food, open market, farmer's market, and I'd buy some dope ingredients that I like, and I'd invite some dope people that I love, and I'd cook for them, and we'd have drinks, and we'd have dope ass food, and we would just hang out. Why? Because immediately following that, I would bury myself in the studio, and in order to put out what I would want to be putting out and be successful based off a contract, because at that point in time, you go from doing something that you love into doing something that you love for business. I would be burying myself in the studios. So I would take the time to cook for these people, let them know that I appreciate them, and let them know that, hey, I'm going to be on hiatus for a little short time. Bear with me. And I just have a good ass time because it's nice to be able to enjoy people's time on that and that bulk level. And then after that, I go right to recording.
Yeah.
And wouldn't stop recording or wouldn't stop working until
until
everything was done. And then let the people do what they do as far as mixing and mastering, getting it all locked in, and go from there. Because I'd be, at that point in time, I get a contract, I'm completely in bed. It's like signing on to a new job. He signed that I-9 for your Texas and shit. Once that shit signed, that shit like legit.
Yeah, it is what it is after that.
And I wrote a song called that. It is what it is. Yep, I sure did. Sure did.
Beer's cold.
Beer's cold.
Woo!
There it goes with the sound effects.
We'll do that in at least one song.
What's that?
What do you do besides music? Well, I usually enjoy things like hanging out with my daughter because she is a freaking trip. Just kids in general, man. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Another thing I like to do for fun, really just hang out with my family and friends, you know, my closest ones, like the people, you know, my aces and shit, the people I love. And like cook, we listen to music, we, you know, play games, board games, whatever it is, and really just enjoy each other's company. But that's usually what I like to do, other than music, is vibe out doing cookouts and shit like that. And fucking hang out with the homies, man.
I'll bump that. Everything he said, plus the craziness. I gotta have craziness. Craziness keeps you stimulated. Craziness keeps you on your toes. Craziness keeps things from being unpredictable. You know, I always had this dream one time. I've always had this dream.
But it was only once that I always had it.
I have a cabin in the hills, in the woods.
The hills? Usually the weekend is there.
That's crazy, because sometimes I heard they have eyes. But anyways, and I wake up, I take a shower, you know, get situated, eat some breakfast, and then instead of walking to my front door, I go out a side kind of door, and there's no platform or anything, it's just a zip line. And then I zip line down the mountain, through the trees, and land at another platform. And as I walk, you know, kind of adjust everything, flying through the wind, adjust your clothes, stuff like that. Walk down a couple steps, cut, walk down a couple more steps into a door. It's a recording studio. Like,
that would be cool.
It'd be dope to just, you know, do what I do, but not have to live in the complete.
But the question is, what do you like to do other than music, though?
That was the question?
Yeah.
I like to cook. That's it. I like to cook, and I like to be creative. Anything that has to do with creativity. But first and foremost, I like to cook.
That's why we're the fucking shit.
You heard him. We are.
If you like food,
what he said.
If you like good food and you like good music, we're definitely doing big things. DCB, A410, Brotherz Couzin, Nels the Sketch. Next question. Who's the best to ever do it?
Me. Me. I'm just kidding. The best to ever do it. I don't just have to say whoever. Like, there's no way to tell anybody's true background and stuff like that. But I would have to say, the best to ever do it would have to go to whoever, or when this sound and hip-hop originated, was the most genuine person. The number one person at that point in time, whether he became famous or not, that was about the culture and the aspect. There was no hating on people. He encouraged people to break dance. He encouraged people to be MCs. He encouraged people to be DJs. An individual that wasn't about bringing anybody else down. An individual that wasn't about stopping anybody else short. An individual that was about the culture and the art that is hip-hop. Now, whoever that would be, I'm too young to know that. But when it came out, when hip-hop became something, you know, just like we started rapping, where did your sound come from? We started rapping at some point just for fun. Who knows? Hip-hop may have gotten started the same exact way. So whoever was that first person, when hip-hop actually became something that had a definition to it, that was about every aspect, and didn't want to see anybody being put down for it. And that would be the person. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, but I would definitely have to say that's the person.
I mean, who's the best to ever do it? I mean, I'm not trying to get blackballed from the industry before I'm even in the industry. The best to ever do it, I couldn't even tell you. To be honest, like, that's something I'd have to go back and just listen to catalogs and be like, all right, well, how many projects, and, you know, how many projects did this, how many projects did that, and it's too much. It's too much. Best to ever do it, and to influence the whole entire culture. Nah, man, I can't pick that. Not right now. So. All right, let's see what this one says, shall we? All right, what do you think about Donald Trump?
Donald Trump.
Just pick this one.
I'm gonna just say it's too early to formulate a full opinion about said subject in the last question. We'll see how things progress. And I hope that people here are ready for something different. Because the last 8 years was different. And the next 4, maybe potential 8 years are going to be very different as well. And I hope that everyone is ready for that. I have a question. It's the last one. All right. The question is, what would be your tour lineup if you could pick the artist?
All right. I'm going to pick... No.
Real quick, I'll say this. From shows that I've seen, unless they're festival status, or multiple stages, multiple days, I usually see about 4 acts.
Okay, so I'm one of the 4. All right, so I get to choose 3 people. Okay.
No, we'll go 5. We'll go 5. So let's say 4 other acts, and where in the lineup would you be at this current time if tour started tomorrow?
All right. I got Sahai, the Prince. I got Kendrick Lamar. I got Russ. And I have Kid Cudi. And the last being myself.
You would be the headliner?
Yeah.
Okay. And just give them per moment in time 4 other artists. I might have to borrow you Kid Cudi. I gotta have the cool kids. That's 2. Okay. I'm gonna throw Chance the Rapper on there. But not because he's big now, like
Nah, he's just fucking dope. He's dope as a person.
And my last one. Given how I feel right now, Kehlani. I think I'd have Kehlani. And she'd open. Because she's dope as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And she's, a singer, dancer, entertainer. So, I'd have her open. And I'd come in right after her. And that's just strategically providing a good show. Let's be honest. She would get people there. People knew that she was opening act. You would get people in. I've been to shows where you don't get people in to the venue early enough.
Mm-hmm.
You get somebody that's got a name behind them to open up early enough. You wouldn't throw R&B in the middle of a huge
hip-hop set.
What you could throw at the beginning. You get a shitload of people in. It's quality music, and you feed right into my set. And then you go from my set. I do Cool Kids. And then I do Cudi. Nah, I take it back. I swapped those 2. And so we go Kehlani, me, Cudi, Cool Kids, Chance. Now we're doing a tour. The headline, the rotation would switch up depending on the region, depending on what people felt like for that night. We'd vote who would go.
Right.
But just being honest, if I'm trying to, progress myself, I wouldn't want to go first because you set yourself up to be first. You don't get as many people there. You want to be successful. All the people that I'm on tour with would draw people in. So I'd have her open and destroy it, but then kick it the rest of the show.
Hopefully everybody enjoyed what it was that we had to say. If one of those questions were your questions, please feel free to write us back, share the video. Feel free to check us out on SoundCloud. SoundCloud.com/Nels the Artist.
SoundCloud.com/SketchTheKid.
Check us out on YouTube. YouTube.com/Nels the Artist.
YouTube.com/SketchTheKid.
Check me out on Facebook. Facebook.com/Nels Facebook.com/Nels the Artist.
Facebook.com/SketchPad101. Somebody already had my name when I signed up. The bastard.
Or on Instagram, just look up Nels the Artist.
Or SketchTheKid. Or Chef Sketch. That's it.
And that's it. Mad love. Shout out to DCB. Shout out to A410. Shout out to the whole Mad Love movement. Mad love to everybody out there. Come fuck with us. Brotherz Couzin, Nels and Sketch.
It's okay. It's okay. I got it. There's no problem. It's got its food, art, and music outreaching everyone. That's what you need to focus on.
Food, art, and music outreaching everyone.
There you go. It's for everyone. For everything. Famo.
Yeah, we chiefin' every day. Yeah, we chiefin' every day.